She came over and taught the children how to make strawberry jam, and we had our little labels, fresh from the Fresh Start Children's Garden. And so that's what the label was. But on the top of it, we made I had a little circle sticker to put the date on it. And so that way you'll pretty much be able to marginalize. But they were in the cute little short jars, the little shorties. Just enough for a person to do in like a little gift basket or something that you might put together. So I thought that would be such a nice idea for like occasions like Mother's Day and sometime a Sweetest Day or something like that. If you wanted to do a basket or something, those are cute ideas that the children can work on. I did get a thank you from Babe's Lounge. You know, they came and did Chef in the Garden one year. And he sent a thank you because we gave out those certificates of appreciation. It's been almost a month now that we got a response from all of them. I did get certificates from of appreciation for what we're doing in the garden, also from Senator Stabenow and from Governor Whitmer.
Oh,
They
wow.
both sent us
That's wonderful.
So they're acknowledging what we're doing. They say it's such a great thing that we're doing with the gardening here. This is the glue that is holding the city together, you know, one of the most positive things, because healthy bodies keep you away from the doctor's office, and practicing safe and clean growing will help the body to stay healthy. And so that's what we're trying to promote and trying to encourage many to start even gardening. That's why I wanted so much for when you get back to talk to us about some of the gardening, the time to start growing and things of that sort. And so I think it's been a great journey that we've had with doing the Fresh Start Children's Garden.
Well, I think that parents should encourage their children to start gardening when they're children. I know my parents gave me a garden when I was probably 5 or 6 years old, and it was my own garden.
Oh.
And that's how I started gardening, was when I was a little kid, and it was my own garden, and I got to do whatever I wanted with it.
And it's exciting when you see the seeds germinate and merge and then what it grows up to be. I think that could bring about great pride in the
Well,
child.
when I was little, I mean, I only grew flowers in it. I didn't grow any vegetables in it. I
Okay.
just had a little flower garden. But, I mean, you need to start young, and it needs to be like a passion, and you need to really care about it. If you look at gardening as a job and a chore and, oh, that's just work.
That's
You know,
right. They look at
If you
it.
look at it as work and a chore, then you're not so likely to do it. But if you look at it as something that you enjoy and that is relaxing and that is something that,
It's therapeutic, really.
yeah, right, you want it to be something that you look forward to.
Yes.
Not something that you like think, oh, that's just another job I have to do.
Or I'm getting my hands dirty and my nails dirty or something.
Yeah,
You got to just, it's like you said, it's got to be a passion.
yeah, you want to enjoy it, and I
Yes.
think if you start out young, you're more likely to enjoy it. At least that's how it happened with me. I started out young, and I've just enjoyed it my entire life, and now I would say it is the thing that I enjoy most in life. It is the thing that keeps me going, and I love it.
One of the things that gives
Very
me the
much.
most joy is that when it's all put together and I can see those rows of different vegetables that is growing and everything is in order and got such organization about it, I get so excited till I drive don't know how many times just to ride by, look at it from different angles. So it makes me really excited. Our potatoes came out. We had some sweet potatoes that came out huge and long. And so I'm just wondering, this year, do you think we should amend the soil, any add some more compost to those tires before we plant?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the knotweed, they have sort of worked on it, and it's not as massive as it has been. Because Ann
That's good.
Ann has been coming by and addressing the problems with it ever so often. And so scientifically, she's working with it without using any harmful chemicals and things like that. And she did it in the fall of the year, so it has a chance to whatever has leached through.
That's wonderful, because knotweed is a really pernicious weed.
Yes.
And very difficult to get rid of. She should come on your show and tell
people about it.
how to get rid of it, because
Yes.
that is a noxious weed.
It is.
And very, very difficult to kill.
Yes.
So I would like to know how she did it, because I have
Yes.
no idea. Knotweed is something that
We tried to smother it out, and it had the tarpaulins up, standing
Yeah,
up.
it grows
It's
right.
just that vicious.
It will grow through cement. I
Oh,
mean,
my.
it's just a
Just
terrible,
neat.
terrible weed. It's terrible, yeah, and I'd like to know how she did it, because.
You know, they say it's edible in some countries, that they have used that knotweed. I don't know whether it's a certain variety, but I looked on and Googled the knotweed, and it was saying that in some countries that they've used, I guess, some portions of it for cooking, using it for food source. So
Well, then I guess that would be good, because it's very prolific. So.
yes, and so, but I'd like for them to grow it somewhere, not in any area near where I have to grow things, because it is just, it had taken over that area, half of that lot. And so now we can grow things all about our potatoes and everything, that we don't have any problem with it coming up and through the tires with that.
Oh, good.
And so,
That's excellent.
Yes, and we had okra that we grew over, and we had beans last year. So it did pretty good. And then we did our tomatoes, where we could stake them on the fencing, you know, as they grew up, to sort of guide them like that. And so that was one of the things we did over on that lot 1 year. And I know you were dealing with Billy at the time. But it's the garden is really growing. It's lots of beautiful things that's happening in the garden. It's been changes that I could see over the past years. 1 year we had, that's not last year, but the year before, we had Andrews University came out with a huge trailer that had forks in it that rolled and kicked it off of the back of the truck. And we had it so tall, it was like a mountain of cow manure. And when it came off, it was smoking, you would have thought it was a fire. And so he left it there, and so later on, I got Mr. The man that tills our lot from Edward Jones down here. He went out to sort of spread it, and it was smoking just as hard as it was when he put it out there. It just started like it was blazing almost again. And he spreaded it out, and that begins to sort of take some of the heat out of it, because over the winter it was leached some. But I'm thinking that it was still too high in nitrogen for us to get the good yield that we wanted. And so I'm thinking this year the amount of nitrogen that's in it is just right. because then it has weathered over 2 winters now.
Yeah, I don't think, I don't know that the nitrogen would have been too high. When it's hot like that, it's still very fresh. That's true, it's still very fresh, it's
Yes.
still working.
Our greens didn't grow as good.
That's surprising.
That's what, I don't know whether it was the temperature, the change of I don't know. Each season it's been a little different. So I don't know if that had something to do with it or what. But we amended that soil real nice and pretty evenly. Then we thought we would have got a great yield out of it. Although we had a good year, but it just seemed like it was something. The cabbages, as they grew up, they burst. Just popped wide open.
Well, that could be over-fertilized or difference in watering. Like sometimes if there's little water and then there's a lot of water, that will cause something to split.
So like an even amount of watering each day, however you water, would be better than
A little water than a lot of water.
yes.
Because a little water and then a lot of water can cause something to split.